Welcome, everyone, to episode 404 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Corey.
Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the best new IPs from this generation. Maybe not even best, but there's plenty of new IPs. We'll probably get into the genesis of why we picked this episode, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's going to be our main topic. Anyone have anything they want to tease for later on in the episode?
I would like to talk a little more Sekiro.
Okay. I'm sure we'll talk about Sekiro because I've played a little bit of that myself.
Not new, and I'll just get it out of the way now and say I played about half an hour of Vampire.
Uh-huh.
I'm probably not really enough to talk about, but I will say so far I like it. It's by Don't Nod, right?
Uh-huh.
The same developer that made Life is Strange, so I figured I like Life is Strange so much I got to give this game a try, and so far so good, but I don't have much more to say than that. So
Excellent. Will, anything to tease?
I'll probably just be talking about some Mass Effect Andromeda.
Okay.
That's probably it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have a ton to tease. For those of you that have been following us for a while, you know after our episode we do a Game of Thrones episode recap. So this week we will be recapping the season premiere of Season 8 of Game of Thrones, the episode called Winterfell. And I think I'm actually going to, for those that watch on YouTube, I'll probably put it up as a separate video instead of having a really long episode video. And then the Game of Thrones video, I'll put the Game of Thrones video up separate. Those that listen through Libsyn or wherever you download Libsyn, wherever you download the podcast from, if it's iTunes or what have you, it'll be on like after the outro. So you keep listening through. And then, those watching now on Twitch, we'll just roll into it after we finish the episode. So we have that to look forward to. My wife is joining us for that, so there'll be the three of us talking. I think Corey mentioned maybe having those that have been listening to the show for a long time. If you remember Chris, we would like to try to get Chris on for some of these if we can schedule the times ahead of time. So
yeah, I said to Dan that both Dan and Chris are Game of Thrones encyclopedias, so
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have them both together.
Yep, filling in some of the history and lore.
Yeah.
So, let's, Will, you want to get started by saying the reason for this particular episode idea?
Yeah, so I was actually out to dinner with a couple of my friends, and we all play a lot of video games. But two of them made the point that every game, a lot of the games this generation have just been sequels.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to argue with them about it. I was like, no, there's a lot of really good IPs. And then I thought about it. And the only two that I could name then and there were Until Dawn and Horizon Zero Dawn. And then I blanked. And I was like, yeah.
That happens.
And I looked back and I was like, well, no, there's a lot of really good games. I was like naming Assassin's Creed, you know. I was like, oh, wait, that's like the 9th and 10th game in the series. So and then I started, thinking about it, and like I looked at last generation. We got BioShock, Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed,
Borderlands,
the Dead Space series, Saints Row. There's a lot of other ones that I'm missing. Uncharted, Gears of War, Dishonored. We got a lot of really good IPs last generation, and a lot of them have persisted to this generation. So I had a really hard time thinking of what were some good IPs that came out this generation. And we also excluded indie games because I named games like Stardew Valley, Hollow Knight, but indie games have always been they're always intellectual properties, Yeah. Very rarely do we see studios make a sequel to the indie game. You know what I mean? I honestly can't think of a sequel to any of the indie games. Maybe spiritual successors, but none that I can think of. So that's where the idea that I came up with, and Dan and I had no idea what to do for an episode this week, so I was like, let's just talk about some good IPs that came out this gen.
Yeah.
So.
I like it, and I thought it was a great idea, and I think we were texting, I think it was almost 3 o'clock in the morning when you texted me that, and I responded just about right away.
Yeah, you've been up every time that I have sent you a message really late this week. So.
Yeah, well, I've had a slight bout of insomnia, and one of my twins has not been sleeping, so...
So you get a buddy at least.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, then you can't really do anything. You gotta watch him. He was good the other night, though. I had him up in the middle of the night, and he just watched cartoons for like an hour and a half. So he didn't want to get up and make noise or cause any trouble. But yeah. So Will, why don't you get us started? What's the first game on your list?
Yeah, might as well talk about one of the ones that I mentioned earlier, Until Dawn. That was actually the first IP that came out of my mouth when I was thinking of this, because we haven't seen, is it Supermassive? I think Supermassive made the game. I can't remember exactly who it is. I'll check that while I talk. But yeah, that was like, we haven't seen a sequel to Until Dawn, or really anything coming from that.
Will.
It is Supermassive? Okay.
Yep.
And we haven't really seen anything else come from Supermassive. I know they came up with that anthology series that they were going to be putting out, but I haven't seen anything from it since it got announced. So really, Until Dawn was one of my favorite games to come out this generation. It was scary. It was a lot of fun. I loved the story, loved the setting, loved the characters. There was so much good that they did, and it was kind of funny because I felt like this game hardly was marketed at all when it came out. I feel like people weren't talking about it until it came out. And it was actually, I think, a surprise hit for Sony. So, yeah, Until Dawn was the first one that I came up with.
Okay. Yeah, and the thing with that one too is, like you said, it was a bit of a surprise hit. Something else came out like right around when that came out that was supposed to be the heavy hitter IP that they released. But that ended up being the far superior game, and they did not promote it very much at all. I can't remember what game it came
was
up
it
against.
The Order?
Was it The Order?
It might have been
Weren't
The
those
Order.
yeah, those were like the two big games that came out that year, and they didn't promote Until Dawn at all, which was a far superior game. Right.
Let's see. The Order 1886 came out February 20th, 2015. Until Dawn came out. Yep, 2015.
Okay, so that would have been it.
So yeah,
Right.
I mean, those came out a little bit later, but the Order flopped by all accounts. It didn't review that well, and Until Dawn was a success.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Corey, what do
Hey,
you got?
I just basically listed off all the ones I could think of without any rhyme or reason to it. But when I asked you guys what the topic for the episode was, one game immediately came to mind, and that's Dying Light.
Dying Light. Yep, I've got that on my list too.
That was a game, I forget what year it came out, maybe 2015?
Could be 2015.
But it was one of those games that throughout our podcast we just kept referring back to. And I think we described it as like a zombie killing playground.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if other games were doing that at the time. I don't even like Dead Island had come out, but Dead Island was not very good.
So came out January 27th of 2015.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it was a well done version of that type of game. It really took what something like Dead Island had started, and I thought perfected it. And I still think back fondly on that game. That game was a ton of fun.
Yes,
I'll never forget the way those when night would come out, the way those zombies those fast ones would start chasing you.
Yep.
Oof, it's frightening.
Yeah, that game was awesome, and I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. Like we knew about it, but because it was a first-person zombie game, I was a bit disinterested.
Yeah. Well, it came out at the right time, right? Wasn't it? It was early, you said, Will, right?
Yeah, it was the first month of the year.
Yeah, and I
January.
think it got the attention because of that.
Yeah.
And really, I think it's the best zombie game that we've gotten.
Yeah, I would have to agree. First-person perspective.
Best open world zombie game, at least. Because the Dead Island games were fine, but they weren't amazing. But Dying Light was actually amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Okay. Good choice. For me, for my first game, I'm gonna say Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It's one I know Corey didn't particularly like, right, Corey?
Not a fan.
Yes, I ended up really liking it, and I think part of the reason, and I don't know if you did this, Corey, but did you play with headphones on?
I don't recall. I doubt it. Yeah, actually, I probably did.
Because you played it on PC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just the way the game. So it's for those that don't know, it's supposed to help portray mental illness. The main character has kind of like PTSD and a bunch of different like mental things going on at the same time. And one of the things that happens when you're playing the game is, this is coming out on Nintendo Switch pretty soon too, for those Switch owners out there. It's a good purchase for it. But yeah, like when you're doing different things in the game, you have these voices in your head, often telling you conflicting things about what's going on and what you should do. I just thought that was really interesting, and it gets to the point where there's so many voices like screaming at you and yelling at you about what you're supposed to be doing, and like I said, telling you conflicting things, and then all of a sudden they're quiet, and you're like, okay, why are the voices quiet? Like, what am I going into something that they're like? And it just messes with you the entire game. So for me, that was an excellent one. It was a very interesting experience for a video game. So that's my Will. Did you play Hellblade?
I did not. I have it on PC, but I have not actually gotten around to playing it.
Okay, it's a good one.
I want to though, because it's made by Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
Ninja Theory did the DMC reboot a while back, and I loved that game. So
yeah, yep. Hellblade. Will, what's up next?
I'll talk about the other one that I mentioned, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is the first ever open world RPG game from Guerrilla Games, which I don't think anybody really expected Guerrilla Games to ever be doing open world RPG. I don't think anybody expected them to do it as well as they did. I think Corey and Eric played the most of this game, right?
Yeah, I played a ton of it. I still want to go back and beat it. That's how much I liked it.
I actually traded in a bunch of stuff today at GameStop, and I'm pretty close to having a PS4 Pro. So I was like,
to play on your new 4K TV.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna wait for my next paycheck and then spend the, I don't know, almost $300 I got for all the stuff that I traded in today, and get a Pro and get Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, play those games that I missed. But Zero Dawn is probably one of the most beautiful games that come out this generation too. People still post pictures of it online about the graphical capabilities of it. So it's a very solid open world game with robot dinosaurs, and you hunt them. It's an awesome game, and I can't wait to actually sit down and play it on my 4K TV.
Yeah.
And you can't talk about Horizon Zero Dawn without talking about Aloy.
One of the best RPG protagonists.
Oh yeah, and there's something about her voice that is.
Oh yeah,
so
because it's voiced by the character by Chloe. It's Chloe Price.
Right.
Which
that's why we like her.
Threw me for a loop when I first played that.
She was awesome.
Because you expect it to be Chloe, and it's not Chloe. It's a completely different setting.
It's
I prefer Aloy, for the record.
Do you? Over Chloe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but Cora and I weren't that fond of
No,
Chloe.
I understand that, but Chloe's such a huge character.
No, you're right. And one of our favorite games ever.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We don't need to get back into Life is Strange.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
we do. You're right.
Eric's not here.
One of these times, too, we've got to do this second episode of Life is Strange 2.
Oh, boy.
Dan, I actually saw the third one's coming out soonish, and I was like, huh, yeah, I never played the second one.
Yeah.
Did the second one review well?
I don't even know.
Episode?
I didn't.
I
read
don't-
any
The first
reviews
one
on
was
it.
just mediocre, right? Like a 7 or something out of 10.
Yeah.
I only saw Destructoids, and I want to say it was like 6 or 7.
Okay, so not great again.
Yeah, not the best.
Okay. All right, Corey. Next up on your list.
Let's see. I mean, I might as well just throw Bloodborne out there, right? We can count that, even though it's kind of a Souls.
Yeah, I agree.
Soulsborne game, I think they call them nowadays. Yeah, it's. I think I borrowed a PlayStation to play it on.
Yeah, I did
Does
too.
that
I
sound
borrowed
right?
Will's for. I think I played it for like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, and it sucks because my recollection of like moments in the game is pretty bare. It's one of those games I played, I think, over a really short period of time, so I didn't build up the memories that I would for a game that I played over a longer period of time. But Bloodborne's a special game, and I still struggle to say whether it's if it's the best of the Soulsborne games, and I still think it might be.
Yeah, you're not in the minority there. There's a lot of people that I was actually, when I was doing the research for this episode, there's people, because I was talking, I did a specific search for best new games of this generation, and for a lot of people were like, yeah, Bloodborne is my favorite game of all time, or is the best game of all time, so that would be on the list. And there was a few people that said that. It's anecdotal, but other people think not only is it the best Souls game, but it's the best game ever for some people. So
yeah, and playing Sekiro makes me think back even more fondly on Bloodborne and the other Souls games. But we could talk more about that in what we played.
Okay, yeah, Bloodborne's a good one. It's on PS Now, Corey, if you want to revisit it.
I know. I should see if I could get another free trial for PS Now and pick a weekend. I don't have plans.
I think they just they have a special promotional price. I think it's $60 for a year. That's kind of worth it, I think.
Let's see what else they have on there.
Yeah, I know there's quite a few good games on there, so that might be worth checking out. Journey's on there if you want to revisit Journey. I've never played Journey, so when I do the PS Now thing, that's one I'm going to play. Go ahead. Did you see anything else on there, Corey?
No.
Okay. So for my game, I will say The Division.
Yeah, good pick.
I know it's at this point there's a sequel, but it did start this generation, and could come out in 2016 maybe.
Yeah.
But I really like the first Division, and not expecting to, because I didn't much care for a game that's similar to the Division, but the Division just controlled so well. It was really interesting setting, especially with the snowstorms in New York City. It was awesome, I thought. If I was more into that type of game, I'm sure I would have sunk a lot more hours into it, but the online stuff kind of loses me after a little while. And after I played through the story and I had my experiences in the Dark Zone, is that what they called the PvP area?
Yeah.
I had a little bit of fun in there, and then that was all for me for that game. But I know, reading people spent hundreds of hours on that game, so
I have some very fond memories of playing that game with you guys too. I remember I think we were all together when this happened. We were in the subway tunnels for the longest time, and then we finally emerged out into the city, and it was a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this game is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just one of those gaming moments that will stick with you forever. Like when you get out of the vault in Fallout 3 and the light hits you and you're in the wasteland and you get the radio signal. Like, I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Tito says, yo, 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 it's your boy Tito. Let's have some hype in the chat.
Also, Dan, I'm logged into Thumbstick Athletes. I didn't realize.
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
My own.
Doesn't matter. You can be on the Thumbstick Athletes one. No biggie.
I'd log back into mine, but I don't remember the password.
I've been because I'm trying to tinker with our stream, because I was updating our information on Twitch, because I was updating, like, the recording date's different now, the time's different. I changed a few things. I added our Google Play podcast link to the thing. But yeah, I think did I have to change the password maybe because I couldn't remember it. So if you ever get those notifications, it's probably me trying to log into things. So I'm trying to get our stuff updated. A lot of it's very outdated. So, but yeah, The Division. Will.
Division's a good pick, Dan. I actually also had that on my list, but I was thinking, what has Xbox done this generation? And I did some digging, and the best I could find was Sunset Overdrive.
Yep, I also saw that on a few lists.
Good game, very good IP. But boy, has Microsoft really dropped the ball this generation. I cannot, for the life of me, think or find another IP that they've had. They've canceled a couple.
Yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Well, then that runs into the indie game.
Yeah, see, I don't know if it's an indie. It's because isn't it a Microsoft Studios game? The indie definition's a little bit different, a little bit weird here, because a game like Child of Light is not considered indie, even though we would consider it like an indie type of game.
It's the same thing with Unravel too, right?
Yeah, like there's a few in there that kind of, because I have a couple on my list that I know are like indie games. But they're like kind of AAA-ish, and I think Hellblade is considered an indie game because it was completely done by Ninja Theory.
Theory.
Yeah, I don't think they had any publisher or anything, so that's technically an indie game, I think.
Okay, so Yeah, okay, so I would include Ori then as well, would in that. So really Microsoft has had Ori and Sunset Overdrive this
Beardless
gen.
says Recore too.
Yeah, I was gonna throw in Recore. I'll throw in. I don't know if you would consider
Well,
Ashen an indie game. I really like Ashen.
I don't know anything about Ashen. And with Recore, I would say best new IPs. Recore did not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
fair
says
enough.
still sad about what that game being what it is.
Because I thought that game was actually going to be pretty awesome, but
Yeah.
it seemed like it was very meh
Half
overall.
baked.
Yeah, half baked.
What about Quantum Break?
I actually didn't hate Quantum Break, but I know everybody else kind of did.
Yeah.
I still keep meaning to buy that on PC and play it. Although it's probably an Xbox Game Pass, right?
It's or very cheap at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to try to give Microsoft a little bit of credit, and I had a real hard time trying to figure out what to give them credit for. So, Ori and Sunset Overdrive will be the ones I throw for Xbox out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest is a game that I've been really wanting to play, and supposedly following along with Cuphead. Cuphead is indie, no question.
Mm-hmm.
But Cuphead is coming to the Nintendo Switch, so people think Ori and the Blind Forest is also going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. So there's that. Who's next? Corey? You next, right?
Yeah, I gotta throw Fortnite in there.
Fork Knife.
I
Yeah.
really like Fortnite. I do. I have a lot of fun playing it every time I play it. I'm not gonna pretend I'm one of those people that has any knowledge about Fortnite. I don't. But when I do play it, I love it.
Yeah.
And it's very addicting. I don't want to put it down, and I totally understand the allure.
Yeah.
Um,
It's on my list, Corey, too. I have it as Fork Knife because I'm older, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cultural phenom, is what it is, and to that point, Netflix has said repeatedly, with the announcement of Disney Plus coming out, they've reiterated this. Like, there's plenty of room in the market for a Netflix and a Disney Plus. Netflix considers their main competitor Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Wow.
that's what's taking all their screen time. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy that a video game is thought of in that way.
Right. Yeah. I haven't played Apex. People seem to love Apex as well. I mean, it's a genre that is very popular in this day and age, and I think you could probably say PUBG was not the first to do it, because I think there were mods that did it first, right? The Battle Royale. Was there like an Arma mod for Battle Royale or something like that?
DayZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm with you on Fortnite, Corey. I also enjoy myself whenever I play it. It's one of those things that the reason why I don't play it is because it's the same thing over and over again. And yeah, I have fun, but I'm trying to get different experiences in with my game. I usually like to play stuff with a story because I like to have a takeaway from whatever game it is, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's why I don't stick to stuff like that, or playing the games like The Division repeatedly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So. Next on my list, I will go with Overwatch.
Yeah.
Overwatch, it's huge. Obviously, it's very big in the competitive scene. I thoroughly enjoy Overwatch. It's just I can't sink the amount of time into it to get good enough to where I feel comfortable playing it all the time. I still say Mystery Heroes is a blast to play if you just want to play it casually, because every time you die, you respawn as a new hero, so no one really takes the game all that seriously. It's just an excuse to go in and shoot up some people and do your best to try to complete the objective. There hasn't been any hate in that mode whenever I've played it, which is also nice. And because I feel like people maybe who only have a handful of heroes, they play that to just kind of branch out a little bit. So yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah.
Will.
Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler.
It's a good one, yeah, because that's not indie.
No, Square
not
Enix.
indie at all. Squeenix.
Yeah.
That game's amazing, and I think we're gonna see a lot more from the Octopath Traveler series too. I know we're getting the mobile game. The first game's coming out on PC, and then we're probably getting a sequel. So.
Yep. Yeah, it comes. I have it as one of my nibble bits, but at some time over the summer, it's coming to Steam. in PC. And yeah, like you said, they're hiring now to work on a sequel. So I think they even either did or are trying to trademark the engine that they made the game in.
Oh, really?
Or the art? Maybe it's the art style. I think that they're trademarking because it's so unique. You know.
That was going to be my that was my comment. Was I think that game was needed because it took. I've said it before. It took everything we loved about like retro role playing games, and created that aesthetic, but added these elements to it that made it beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta get back and beat it. I put 70 hours into it, and I still have, I think, 5 more stories to go.
Oh, wow.
Oof. Yeah.
You technically beat it, as in the credits roll, if you finish the 4th part of the first character that you pick.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I know I finished Ophelia's, who was my number 1.
Okay.
So
if the credits rolled, I think you technically beat it.
God, I'm good.
I like Tressa's story.
She's part of my B team. But yeah, Octopath Traveler, very good game. I can't wait to see the future of that because I feel like the second game is just going to be that much better.
Okay. Nice. Corey.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah,
I've also got that one, and
didn't even think of that.
when I read, because that was on one of the lists that I read too, and some people were like, "It's Lord of the Rings. It's not really," but it's a new video game. You know, it's a new video game set in Lord of the Rings, kind of expanded universe, I guess.
They created their own. I mean, it's based on some of their lore, but they created their own to go with it, right?
Their own character, and obviously. There's no Talion in Lord of the Rings that disrupted the forces of Mordor from inside.
Right.
At least that we're aware of. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved Shadow of Mordor. Talk about pure, unadulterated fun set in a universe I adore.
Yeah.
If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. And what's the newest one?
Shadow of War.
Shadow of War. Yeah.
Shadow of War
Also
is just bigger than Shadow of Mordor. It's a little less focused, a little more open, but the sort of end game just drags unnecessarily because I had one enemy that I just could not kill in that one, and he just kept coming back, and we would fight, and he would beat me 3 or 4 times in a row, and I'd finally kill him, and I'd be like, good, finally rid of this guy, and he would come back. And I actually read an article fairly recently about someone who had such nemesis that they went into the game files to try to delete this character, or they restarted their game or something, and this character still this orc still managed to somehow traverse that there and find their way back into this player's game.
Yeah, that Nemesis system, right?
Nemesis,
that's what they called it.
Yep.
That was really cool and well implemented. I mean, you would kill an orc and then it would come back with scars.
Scars
or
or
how you killed it.
Yeah, scars, or it'll have something that, as if you beheaded to them, they'll have their head reattached.
Yeah.
Or they'll be burned if they were caught on fire. It's just so well done. And we talked about it when the game came out. I feel like that system could work in other types of games, but it just hasn't been put in anything else.
Yeah, not that I know of anyway. And I remember at the time following a bunch of gaming media and everybody saying like, "Oh, you're going to start seeing this in a ton of games," but I don't think it's been in anything.
Nope. Not so far, anyway. Okay. Who am I next? I'm losing track of who's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
Yes, you are next.
All right, I'll go with, and since we've been talking about it in the chat, Titanfall.
Yeah.
Titanfall. The first Titanfall is actually what I played. That's how I forced myself to learn how to play shooters on PC, and since then I haven't been able to go back to playing shooters on a console, just because I wanted to be more effective. I bought it for PC because of the frame rates. That might have been after I traded, or I'm trying to think of, did that come out on the early Xbox One, PS4, or was that Xbox 360?
I don't know.
Now that I think about it.
Titanfall?
Yeah.
It launched on both, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So it was on the Xbox. So it came out for technically this generation. No, you're right. It did come out in the older versions, older systems
it did.
too.
It
Xbox
did.
360.
It did, but it's still technically a new IP that came out
Yep.
during
Okay.
the early days of
So yeah, I think at that point I didn't have a new console, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. But either way, I forced myself to learn how to play shooters on a PC for Titanfall, and I'm very thankful for Titanfall for that. And I really enjoyed Titanfall. I thought it was a fun shooter. I played it competitively, probably longer than I've played a competitive shooter, except for maybe Halo. Playing Halo online in the early days. So
Yeah.
it's good stuff. Will, what you got?
I haven't personally played this game, but I know a lot of people really like it. But Detroit Become Human, another Sony story game, and it's another reason why I'm going to be getting a pro to play it. I know
Eric really
nothing.
liked that game, right?
He didn't play it either.
Oh, I thought he did.
It's made by the people who did Heavy Rain and all that. So, all the people that I know who played it, Beerless said not David Cage. Everybody who I know who played it really loved it. I guess it's a story about like robot android type thing. So, it has my interest peaked, and I do want to play it. It's pretty cheap now too. So, yeah, that's one that I really want to play. That
Is that coming to PC via the Epic Game Store?
probably.
I think Heavy Rain is coming to PC.
Oh,
I
well,
feel
you
like-
know what? You're right.
I feel like
you're right.
Detroit Human was part of that, or maybe it was a different game that I'm thinking of. But yeah, Beardless says they are coming to PC, Epic Game Store. So if you haven't had a chance to play them, you can play them there.
That's a good spot to play him.
Okay,
But yeah,
Corey.
I have 4 games on my list that I'm not sure if we would consider indie or not.
Okay, well, let's hear them. We'll decide live.
Life is Strange.
I don't think that's considered indie. Did
wait,
did it have a big
doesn't-
publisher? It was published by Square Enix, wasn't it?
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's not indie then.
Yeah, I wouldn't count it.
Let me double check because now I'm second guessing myself.
So yeah, so if it's not indie, it counts.
Developer, Don't Not Entertainment. Doesn't say.
Does
unless
it
I
say a publisher?
Through Wikipedia. Square Enix.
Yeah, so it
Not
counts.
indie.
All right. I'm not going to talk about Life is Strange. We beat that game to death. And in
Mm-mm.
fact, we've already talked about it in this
Yeah.
episode. So
No, make a quick comment about it.
I love Life is Strange. Also, No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, not an indie.
No, that's indie.
Is it indie?
Yeah, it doesn't have a big publisher, does it?
Yeah, but
Sony.
isn't it published by Sony?
On for PS4.
Wouldn't the same logic apply to Life is Strange then?
I don't know.
I would say no.
I mean, it had a pretty big studio effort behind it.
No, that's not a big studio. There's like 12
Hello-
people that work for Hello Games.
No, but it was Sony's baby.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
I want to play No Man's Sky, by the way.
Anyway, we don't need to count it.
No,
I just wanted to
it
throw that
counts.
out there. And it was a game I actually didn't really care for. None of us really cared for. So maybe it shouldn't be out here anyway, but I figured it was worth mentioning because it does have a pretty strong cult following.
And it's much better now.
It is much better. I still follow the subreddit, so I kind of know when like the updates are happening and stuff like that. And people are really excited for the VR.
Yeah.
I don't know is it out yet? It might have come out.
Don't know. I just heard that they were doing a VR thing for it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever a type of VR video game I want to play, No Man's Sky is pretty close to it.
Yeah. Anytime you talk about space travel, like that's made for VR.
Yep, definitely.
There's
I
actually-
also, go ahead. Will.
There's a big debate on whether No Man's Sky is in fact indie.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case.
The end of the article says that's up for you to decide.
Ow! What a cop out.
It's a gray area nowadays. I mean,
Yeah,
who
I think
knows?
there's ones that are definitely indie games. Like Stardew Valley is definitely an indie game. I don't think you could argue that. But then, like I talked about Hellblade, it was developed by Ninja Theory, and I think they even called it a premium indie game.
Yeah.
But
There you
like I would consider it AAA. It's a AAA experience. So.
Well, I think Stardew Valley is a AAA experience.
I mean, do we consider a mid-tier game? Because I would consider No Man's Sky to be a mid-tier, not AAA, but it's not a small game because it did have the money backed into it by Sony.
Yeah.
It was full price, wasn't
And
it?
it was
Yeah, it was $60.
Yeah.
I think even Hellblade was only 40 when it launched, right?
Yeah, it's 40.
So
So I would say it's a mid-tier game.
Okay. The Witness is another one of my maybes. I mean, that was Jonathan Blow. He did have a team at that point, but that game was awesome. But again, gray area whether we would include that as indie. And then Rocket League was the other.
yeah.
I think there was actually a Rocket League before.
Rocket League is a sequel.
It is a sequel.
Spiritual successor.
No, it's the same thing though, isn't it? It's got a really long, stupid name for the first
Does
game.
it have a 2 after it?
No, but it's
it's pretty. What was the first game called?
it's got a long name.
Battle Cars or
Yeah,
something.
so something rocket powered.
Is it super powered rocket battle cars?
Sonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars.
Terrible name. Rocket League
2008.
is so much better of a name. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tito's got it. Supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars. That's what it is.
I love that name.
Sequel. In March 2011, Psyonix confirmed there was a sequel in development called
Oh,
Rocket
alright.
League.
All right, fair enough. But anytime
It's
I
worth
can get a mention,
it's worth mentioning at least.
yeah.
To
But I
be-
will go ahead.
I was gonna say no one cared about the first one, so I would say it's pretty much its own thing.
Do you guys have more to talk about?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Hit it.
Frostpunk.
Oh yeah.
I love Frostpunk.
Isn't that indie?
Yes, I think it's technically indie, but I would consider it to be like a AAA strategy. You know.
Okay.
But yeah, I love Frostpunk. I love the whole idea of surviving in the frigid cold. I like that it's not so far from your civilization that you don't really know what's going on a personal level. But it's not super close in on a personal level either. You kind of know what your people are doing, and you got to kind of keep them safe and protected and warm and all that stuff. I think it's a perfect like distance for that type of game. An interesting concept too.
Yeah.
Risk reward, sacrifices to try to save your people from the frigid winter. Good stuff.
Yeah, I really liked Frostpunk until I had played it a lot.
Mhm.
And when you play something for long enough, you can kind of peel back the curtain a little bit.
Yep.
And I don't know, to me, and I can't remember exactly what my main complaint was, but I do remember it was the end game that I really didn't like. It was just like it just became mindless, like just got to keep my place warm. Do you guys remember what I complained about at the end of the game? I can't.
I don't
I
remember
don't.
either. But I know for me, like at least in the time that I played it, and I can't remember how long it was, but it was like I was never able to feel comfortable, which I really liked. I don't know if you got to that point, Corey, but I never got there. Like I had some times where it was like the what minus 70 is what the frigid times were, and
Oh yeah.
I just had a hard time getting through those. I never had enough resources to get through that, and
You got to keep the seeds alive.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
So, Will, do you have anything else? Will's taken off.
Will disappear.
I'm here.
Okay.
No, I actually couldn't think of any more games, to be honest.
I have 3 more.
Yeah, I've got a couple. Go ahead, Corey.
Destiny.
Destiny. Yep, I've got that too.
Yeah.
I didn't play it, so I don't really have anything to say about it other than I was interested in it, and then it came out and you guys talked about it, and I was less interested in it. And then the second one came out and I was interested in it, but didn't want to spend the money at the time, and now I'm not really interested in it anymore. So
It was
maybe the marketing was really, really good.
It was free at one point on PC.
Yeah, it was.
it?
Yeah.
I
I'm-
downloaded it just so I got it.
Yeah, same here. I have it. I played it for like an hour. I did not like the first Destiny, but part of it was, I had gotten past the point where I was comfortable playing shooters on a PC. I I thought it was kind of dull for me. I played through the story and then I just had zero interest in going back. I had zero interest in doing the multiplayer. So, but again, that's not my type of game. So there wasn't a lot of things there for me.
Yep.
It's too much of a slog to get anywhere in that game.
Yeah. A lot of grinding.
It's something that I think the Division does the best out of all of them.
Yeah.
Or Anthem, really, to give Anthem a little bit of credit. You don't have to dig 200 hours in there to beat the main story, get a couple good guns.
No, well, and I haven't played Anthem. I only know this because my coworker, who I think I've talked about before, the ex Call of Duty pro,
yes,
plays Anthem, and he doesn't play anymore. And his reason was that he was farming legendaries, and it took him, and I think, well, oddly enough, his number was 200 hours before he got the legendary drop, and he's like, that's just crazy to me, and I don't want to waste my time doing that anymore.
I think that is mainly because of BioWare's shady loot drop stuff they've been called on.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to defend your point that the Division is the best at that, because that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah, you're definitely right that the Division is definitely the best at it.
Yeah, gameplay wise too. I thought Destiny was the worst of those three. I know there's more of that type of game, but the gameplay for me wasn't there for like it was for the Division or for Anthem too. Anthem was a really really fun gameplay wise, I thought. Not enough to get me to stick with it for 200 hours. There's no freaking way. I would like to revisit it and beat the story, but I don't know. Whenever I boot up my whenever I boot up my Xbox, it's to play Sekiro, or it'll be to go back to Red Dead, probably. So, okay. Do you have anything else, Corey?
I have two more.
Let's hear it. We'll do your
tomato, or that's a sequel?
Sequel.
Is it a sequel or is it a spinoff?
Sequel.
Okay. Yeah, because there was a first Nier game, wasn't there? Automata was a sequel.
Yeah, you're right. Loose sequel.
Thank you, Beardless.
Okay, well, I'll skip Nier then, and then this one is based on two currently existing IPs, but it's its own thing. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
That was on some list, and some people disqualified that because obviously Mario is not new and Rabbids aren't new, but together, I think you have an argument there, Corey.
What a great game, and I really hope they make another one.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Way better than XCOM
2.
Both of them, in my opinion.
You liked it better than the first XCOM, even?
Yeah. There was enough FU in the first XCOM. That I don't know. I feel like the Mario Rabbids system was way more straightforward.
It was more predictable.
It was just as challenging.
Yeah.
And not
some of those later battles are really hard in Mario Rabbids.
Yep.
Totally.
So that's it.
All right. I've got a couple more. Starlink Battle for Atlas, which I have played recently. I know they stopped producing the toys, but I thoroughly enjoyed that, especially the Star Fox angle that they had, that the Nintendo Switch version had that the other versions didn't have. It's kind of a No Man's Sky light, but it's the fun elements of No Man's Sky and not the bad elements. All the planets are created, handcrafted, so they're more interesting than your standard No Man's Sky planet that you land on. But a lot of similar gameplay elements like scanning things and collecting materials and space too. You take off and fly out into space. You go, fly around in space, and then same thing. Same way of going into the planets. That's a good game, and if you could find it cheap, it's worth a shot. Also on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. So, and then I have Sekiro. It's recent, but I think it's worth talking about anyway.
Yeah,
we'll talk about Sekiro during what we played, but
all of those Souls games take place in this like a Souls-like universe, but they're all IPs. So
Yeah, and Sekiro is definitely the most different of all of them.
yeah, they classify as Souls games, but they're IPs, and as you said, Sekiro is a lot different comparatively. So
Set in the real world is a big
yeah,
differentiator.
Kinda. Well, yeah. I mean, it's feudal Japan. Do I have anything else on here? Starlink. Nope, I covered everything. I'm sure there's a few others that we're missing here, but that's our list of best new IPs, right?
yeah.
That's it. Exhaustive.
Exhaustive list. So
Now,
go
real
ahead.
quick, I just want to ask you guys, how do you think these IPs stack up to the IPs we got last gen?
I would probably say not quite as good.
Yeah. I mean, the best games I feel like are
The sequels.
sequels or indies.
Yeah, and
Or-
reboots.
Yeah,
Premium. How did you describe them, Dan? Premium indies?
premium indies. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like the Rocket League and the Life is Strange, and well, again, Rocket League doesn't really count, but The Witness. I mean, some of those games are very creative and fun, and I mean,
Yeah.
Celeste, Thumbstick Athletes Game of the Year.
yeah. There's a lot of stellar indies that you know, like you said, Will, you could bring up in this type of conversation.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
games that came out this generation, but
Corey's personal 2018 Game of the Year, Pyre, 17, whatever year it was.
2017.
No, it was Thumbstick Athletes. I'm rewriting history on that.
All right, shall we move on to Nibblebits?
Yeah.
Will, what do you got for Nibblebits?
Oh boy, Dan, I got a lot of nibble bits. So Nintendo unveiled the new Smash character, Joker, his gameplay finally, and what else is going to be up in the update that's coming out, which is actually coming out in approximately 2 minutes.
Nice.
Stage Builder is being added to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is pretty awesome. A lot of people were clamoring for Stage Builder, so that's gonna be back. Joker is gonna be added. A new stage, new song, so on and so forth. I was kind of hoping at the end of this they said Persona 5 coming to Switch.
I hope so. God, I
But-
hope so.
It's gonna happen. I just don't know when. But yeah, so that was some big Smash news. I'm actually patiently staring at my TV right now for it to hit 10 o'clock so I can download the Smash update, so I can get Joker. Next,
1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute. Next, get through my nibble bits quick. One that I'm really excited to talk about is the Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC that's coming out called Fate of Atlantis. I don't know if any of you watched this trailer.
I forgot. I meant to.
You guys really should check it out. It looks so cool. It takes place with, from what I can gather, it has the Assassin's Creed Odyssey protagonists, whoever you play it as, but you're playing in Atlantis, way back when it existed, and it looks really good. If people who have played Assassin's Creed Origins, the Curse of the Pharaohs DLC, this looks similar in line to that, where it's a lot of mythological stuff going on as opposed to real world things going on at the time. Beardless says Fate of Atlantis looks bonkers. It really honestly does. I'm so excited to actually play it. I gotta get all the DLCs for this game. Basically, you're following a quest line between the two worlds, the mythological main game for the story, and then the actual other side of Greece. And then you're going to be doing things. It looks like it's an open world. You're going to be traveling Atlantis and stuff like that, killing mythological beasts like you kill or fight Cerberus, it looks like, in the trailer.
Looks
wild.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think this just sold me on buying Odyssey for Xbox. I want to play this in 4K so bad.
You know what? Part of the reason why I want to get a Pro 2 is to play Odyssey in 4K because I think it's gonna look so good.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, looks awesome.
It reminded me a little bit of like a Lord of the Rings trailer, but like with weird I don't know, old timey race people. Like I don't know, they're like stone people. I don't know. It's really bizarre like watching it, but definitely check that out. It looks so cool.
Did I tell you my Atlantis theory?
No.
I might not be unique in thinking this, but I think that Atlantis is real,
I
and
do
that
too.
it's where our progenitors are hiding out till it's time to come out again and build some more pyramids for us. But they'll come out and be like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
What is all this?
What is this stuff?"
Did you know that Plato actually has like talked about Atlantis being a real thing, like in his journals?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was in Atlantis yesterday, just casually. So it's out there. We just don't know where or what.
Yeah, what it is or what it was.
We'll have to
So
we'll have to get Tom DeLonge on the horn to
Oh yeah, contact the
fill us in.
aliens
Yeah,
because they've chronicled all of our history.
right.
so my friends aren't huge Blink-182 fans, but they're huge Joe Rogan fans, and I listen to the Tom DeLonge Joe Rogan
Really
podcast.
good podcast, by the way.
Well, they were like, "What is wrong with Tom DeLonge?"
Yeah.
He's like,
Mental illness.
they're like, Joe Rogan was even just like blown away by what Tom DeLonge was saying during it.
Yeah. He thinks, I don't know how familiar you are with it, Dan, but he thinks that he is in a unique position to communicate. He thinks that the government is working with him to communicate that we have been interacting with aliens, and that because Tom DeLonge is a cultural icon, he knows how to slowly present that information to the masses.
Okay.
And he has this bit corporation, like it's called To the Stars or something like that,
Yeah.
that is supposed to be doing all this stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, well,
I guess if,
maybe we're the suckers. And,
maybe.
you know,
maybe Tom DeLonge has it right all along.
yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel if that was the case.
They do have a song, "Aliens Exist," right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's always been a loon. Keeping with the Assassin's Creed news, guess Notre Dame burned down yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know, whenever it was, but Ubisoft is giving out Assassin's Creed Unity for free in honor,
On PC.
I guess, on PC. That's a cool thing. I guess Assassin's Creed Unity is, from what I'm reading, is pretty underrated as a game now that they fixed the technical issues to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually going to be giving it a go here pretty soon. A lot of people say it's actually not a bad game. Just got ruined by all the issues that it had.
Yeah, I'll be downloading it, no doubt.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Why not? You're getting it for free. Might as well take them up on that.
Yep.
So I guess the recreation of the Notre Dame is like the most accurate that we have left in the world, which is kind of funny because it's in a video game.
Yeah, I actually read that
that?
they're using video games to help recreate
I just saw
the
an art
building.
historian laser. I forget what they call it, but laser scanned the inside of it, and that's what they're using to recreate, like 4 years ago. But maybe that was part of
that was used in the video
game.
Yeah.
Could be.
I do know that the article that I read was somebody took a year and a half like making just that in the game.
Wow.
Because I guess Ubisoft, how they make their games is like one studio does this part of the game, and then the other studio does that part of the game. That's why they're able to pump out games. Because they do it as a team.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Get Assassin's Creed Unity. I'll be playing it at some point this year. But my last one is there was PlayStation 5 news, which I did not expect to hear so early because it hasn't really been officially announced that they're doing it, but they are in fact making a PlayStation 5. Couple things. There's a solid state drive confirmed by Mark Cerny. Somebody said wouldn't believe it if it wasn't Mark Cerny that said that because it's kind of a buzz thing to throw in for the new consoles. Solid state drive. Woo!
Makes a huge difference.
Well, I guess they had the new Spider-Man game running on the PS5 dev kit, and they showed loading times between the two, and it took 18 seconds, I believe, for Spider-Man to fast travel in that game. And then the PS5 dev kit took less than a second for him to spawn to that same location.
Well, anyone who switched over from a normal hard drive to a solid state drive knows that booting up Windows on a normal hard drive is miserable as compared to a solid state drive. So just go back and try to boot Windows from an old spinning hard drive, and it's awful. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So that's going to be a big thing. 8K support is supposedly a thing. It probably won't be used that much, but it will be supported. Death Stranding is coming.
Probably 8K media playback, I would think, not gaming.
Not, I would think, because considering 4K gaming still isn't as big as it probably should be, there's no way they could do the 8K.
Yeah, I mean, I know the PS4 Pro doesn't do native 4K. It does checkerboard 4K. It's slightly under 4K resolution.
Okay. Isn't it the 4K console to get the Xbox One X?
Yeah, that has native true 4K. Like I said, the PS4 Pro is slightly under 4K, and they like I watched a really long Red Dead Redemption 2 video from Digital Foundry, and they do this checkerboard thing that you can see if you zoom in really quick. It's dynamic resolution, and you don't notice it when you're playing, but it makes a huge difference. Comparatively between the two versions.
Today, when I was trading in my stuff, I actually really heavily considered trading in my Xbox and just nixing the PlayStation Pro and getting a One X. But if I didn't not play any of those Sony games, I probably would have done that.
Yeah.
Death Stranding possibly coming to PS5 as well, which kind of confirmed what I threw out a couple weeks ago. I wondered if some of these games are going to be pushed for a dual launch at PlayStation 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a thing. Backwards compatible with the PS4. That's massive.
Yep.
I'm shocked they didn't do that last or the generation we're in right now. So that's good that that's going to be coming back.
Well, but wait, people don't want backwards compatibility. That's what they tried to tell us.
They're all dumb. People who think that.
Yep.
And let's see what else.
Eric, you guys just called him dumb.
I would say most people go back and play old games.
Oh yeah, I forgot Eric and we have argued about all of that before. But yeah, that seems to be all of the big news that came out of the PS5. Coming, I guess November 2020 was, I guess, the rumored that came out of that as well. So, we'll be hearing about it fairly soon. So that's big news.
Yes, it is.
But that's it for me though.
Okay. I got a couple quick ones. The first one is that NHL 19 is now free for EA Access subscribers on Xbox One.
Woo. Hockey's stupid.
Now that stupid hockey is in the playoffs. So there's that one. I also had the Assassin's Creed Unity one. Switch RPG Octopath Traveler is coming to PC in the summer. I don't think there's a date yet, but
June 7th.
Oh, is it June 7th? Oh yeah, June 7th.
Yep. That's the only reason I knew it.
It's going to follow a mobile-only prequel, too, which is interesting. It's going to be called Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. It's coming out for Android and iOS. Oh, came out for Android and iOS last month.
Really? Wait.
I didn't know about that. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, it's Steam. It's going to be on Steam. It's going to be a straight port to PC with no changes. So if you don't have a Switch, buy one. But if you don't want to buy one, you can play Octopath Traveler at least on Steam. So, and right now, actually, I'm looking up to see if Octopath Traveler is indeed on. What's its face? Octopath Traveler.
I'm getting no results. It probably came out in like some random country.
Maybe it was just in Japan, and maybe it's coming out west.
This is America. We should be getting it.
Beardless asked about the Knights of the Old Republic news. Yes, I did hear about that. It's Lucasfilms is doing something for Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know if I ever ended up reading what specifically they were doing, but they are doing something for Knights of the Old Republic.
Really?
Very interested to see that. I really feel like EA's dropped the ball on their EA stuff. Although the new game, I don't know. Did you guys watch the trailer for what was it called? Fallen
Order.
Fallen Order.
Jedi
yeah.
Fallen Order.
I don't know. What'd you guys think about that?
I think it looks great.
Yeah, you didn't see much gameplay, but I'm at least interested in what's going on there.
Described as an easy to pick up action melee game with lots of depth.
Okay.
I heard the combat is gonna be slightly Dark Soulsy. Might not be hard, but it's gonna be that kind of
slow
kind of game, maybe.
Nice.
That's just what I saw people talking about.
Sure.
I don't know that for sure.
Okay. Sounds good. So I think that's everything for Niblewitz. Corey, how was your week?
My week was good. I did something a little out of character for me. I've been interested in bonsai,
Mm-hmm.
the Japanese art of tiny trees. That's not really how it's described. That's just how I'm going to describe it because I think that makes the most sense to people. I've been interested in it for a while, and I had mentioned that to my girlfriend's family. And for my birthday, which was April 1st, my girlfriend's mom got me a little juniper bonsai. And her mother, Sophie's grandmother, had been going to bonsai club for a while, and she's talked to me about it, and I was interested, but it's on Saturdays. It's the second Saturday of every month, so I was a little bit hesitant because I don't like to use my days off to do things other than stay home and do nothing, if I can avoid it. So finally had a free Saturday, and I was like, what the hell, I'll go and check out Bonsai Club and see what it's all about. So I brought my little juniper tree, and it was kind of cool because they had an expert in. He's like nationally renowned, and it was my first time coming in, and I walked into the club and it had already started, and what the guy was doing was going through everybody's bonsais and giving them tips on how to take care of them. Really knowledgeable guy. I never realized the amount of art that goes into it. It's not just like snippet to make it look a certain way. They like wrap wires around the branches and manipulate them so that it grows in a certain way.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a really old, gnarled tree that's
Right.
just mini, right?
Exactly. Yep. Some people had some really cool bonsais, and I just had this junky one that was in a plastic container. But he was talking about like the type of material you want to use for the urn, what kind of placements need to go in it, what kind of angle you should tip it at. There's just so much that goes into it that I never really expected. And my bonsai was the last one he got to, and I could tell right away when he looked at it. He's like, "Who's this joker?" And of course, nobody in the club knew who I was because it was my first time, like just kind of showing up. And he's like, "Whose is this?" And I'm like, "It's mine." And like everybody turns around to look at me, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Corey. I feel like a little bit of an imposter here, but that's my bonsai that was just gifted to me. I have no idea what I'm doing." And all he really said was, "Well, now's a good time to snip it and get it in an urn that you like." So I was like, all right. And then Sophie's grandma, after that part was done, he was going to do a demo. But there was a 30-minute lunch break before that would happen. Sophie's grandma's like, I'm not going to stay for the demo. You want to come back and have a chicken salad sandwich, which sounded great. I love chicken salad sandwiches. But I was like, no, I want to put the FaceTime in. I'm new at the club. I know I felt like an imposter. I want to show that I'm actually interested. So I stayed for the demo, and it lasted 3 hours of everybody sitting and watching this guy trim his bonsai and wire it.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest, that sounded horrible when you told us.
It was so bad, and my phone still wasn't working at the time. I had no network, so I couldn't do anything on my phone. And I couldn't leave because my bonsai was on the front table. So if I wanted to leave, I would have had to leave my bonsai.
Or get up and get it and then walk out.
Or get up and get it and walk out.
Thus proving you're an imposter.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm really patient when it comes to those things. Like I can be fast. I can pretend to be fascinated in something for long enough to actually convince myself I'm fascinated in it. But this was next level. We were in a church in old metal chairs. Like I didn't know anybody, so like I couldn't have side conversations while he was up there trimming. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant.
Oh man.
I don't know, and it like totally soured my whole interest in bonsai, which maybe is a sign that I wasn't really all that interested to begin with. But I do have my plant here, my little juniper, that I'll continue to take care of and see what happens with. But it's really, I don't know. It was like really interesting and then extremely boring. It was the two extremes. And I'm just trying to reconcile the two.
Man.
So recently, real quick about the bonsai, Corey. My phone, for whatever reason, is glitched, and it keeps two messages on my phone, like on my screen when I like open it up to like look at my notifications. And it was when Dan and Eric at the same time both said like a bonsai tree.
Mm-hmm.
That's just glitched on my phone. So like I click it and it comes down. It's just those two messages. So I'm always reminded
That's
of
weird.
the bonsai tree, and I don't know why.
Interesting. Beardless says in the chat there was a story about a couple's 400-year-old bonsai tree being stolen a while back. It's really wild. The guy was saying that he has had bonsai stolen.
Really?
And yeah, he said it was one that he had for 20 some years or something like that. I mean, if you're good at it and you have like a tree that's old, you can sell it for $50,000.
Really?
Well, think about all the time that went into it, care and everything. Obviously, it has to have artistic appeal too. It can't just be an old tree. But he said it was like losing a child. That's how upset he was over it. And when he brought one in that he had for over 40 years to show us, not the one he worked on, but just to show us. And somebody asked, how much would you want for something like that? And he's like, I don't even want to talk about it. It's like talking about selling one of your children.
Huh.
And then the guy was like, I'll give you $70,000. And he walks over and he's like, sold. Shook hands with him. It was really funny. But anyway.
Nice.
That's my week.
Okay. Will, what do you got?
Yeah, so a tree fell on the house.
Oh,
that's right.
That's right.
Speaking of trees.
Yeah, so I'm not too fond of trees right now. Yeah, we got a tornado watch. What day was it? Sunday? I think it was Sunday.
I don't remember. My kids are off of school this week, and I have no idea what day it is.
I believe it was Sunday. I was actually at a friend's, and the one time I took Mom's weather advice seriously was that night. She said we had a tornado watch, and to either stay where I was or come home at like 11. And I was like, I'll just go home. I don't want to be trapped anywhere right now. So I went home, and boy, was it a good thing that I came home, because I have never experienced more crazy winds than I did that night. It was about 1:30. I'm playing Mass Effect Andromeda. My Xbox freezes, and I'm like, all right, you go to the bathroom. So I'm sitting on the toilet, and it sounds like the house is about to come apart. You know when they say that, like, when you hear a tornado or whatever, it sounds like a train's coming by the house?
Yeah, coming through the house, yeah.
Coming through the house. I heard that, and the window started shaking violently. I'm looking around like, oh my god, what's going on? And the cats are like running everywhere, hiding. I come out of the bathroom. The power had went out, came back on. Like, Mom's looking out the window, like I'm trying to grab the cats, but it had stopped because it was so fast. We waited for the lightning to calm down. We didn't know what was happening, if it was going to continue being that windy. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go outside and look and see what's going on. So I opened the door on the front porch, looked out to the road, just a lot of rain and lightning. And I was like, huh. And I turned this way towards where the trees were for whatever reason. And I just look and see one of the trees right against our house. And I was like, huh. So I popped my head
That wasn't there before.
Yeah, I just see all the branches, and I was like, Mom, you should look at this. So she looks and goes, oh my god. Sure enough, it went right on my room. So we ran upstairs, looked. Somehow it just landed on the roof and just rested there. Didn't break through any windows, didn't break through any of the like infrastructure of the house. It literally just toppled over and just took a nap on the house. So that was crazy because we didn't really know what to do. We didn't know if we should call somebody because it was 2:00 in the morning. You know.
Yeah, we don't get storms that bad all that often, and especially not that late at night. Like it's usually in the afternoon when we get bad storms like that.
Yeah. So like we didn't know. The fire department looked at it. I asked him, I was like, so do you think we should stay in the house? Like, is it fine? He's like, I don't want to make that call. I was like, cool, great. So we toughed it out, and then early in the morning we got people to take it off the house and cut it down. They actually did it in a day, which was pretty impressive because they thought it might take 2. That's how bad it was.
It was a big tree too.
very big tree. It was actually the healthy of the two trees that was there. So we have another tree that we're gonna have an issue with here pretty soon, probably. So
Yeah, it uprooted too. You should mention that because it didn't, snap at the base. It
nope,
uprooted the whole tree.
legitimately got pulled out of the ground.
Yep,
And
How
go
old
ahead.
is that tree?
pretty
Any
old.
idea?
I don't know for sure. Mom might know
80?
all of that. Maybe older. I can ask her if you'd want.
Big one. I mean, I don't care that much. Just for perspective on size, it's a big tree.
Yeah, no, it was massive. I couldn't believe it didn't do any damage. And like when it stopped lightning a lot because we're running out of really bad luck over the last like 5 years, I didn't want to go outside and get struck by lightning, so I waited a bit. Like I went out to the pool at like 4 a.m, and like the fencing around the pool got ripped off. And how I knew it was a tornado was because of how the debris was. Like it wasn't like straight winds where things all went one direction.
Yeah,
There
stuff
was
scattered.
stuff scattered everywhere. There was a tree leaning on our house. The pool fencing was just gone completely. No idea where that went.
Oh,
And
you
then
haven't found it?
Nope, no clue where it went.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know that.
Could be anywhere, but as of right now, it's gone. The the stuff from other trees was blown in our backyard too. So like it wasn't just like, oh, it all went in one direction. It was all over the place. So that makes me think wind was coming from multiple directions. Thus probably being a tornado. And lucky us, it went through our yard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was really bad.
Because I should say, we got the same storm where we are not far from Will, and not nearly as bad. We had a little bit of wind. The thunder and lightning was kind of bad, but rain, but it wasn't nothing like what you guys had. Not even close.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how bad. I had, like I said, never seen anything like that before. So, it was pretty scary. Because especially when the trees is laying on your house, you're like, huh, I don't know if we should be in here anymore. But like we can't leave because it was storming.
Yeah.
So you were kind of trapped. And like when one time I would have come home was right when that storm would have happened. So I'm really glad I came home early because that car would have been tossed around.
Yeah.
That I was in. So yeah, that was a fun day. I had to go outside and pick up roof pieces from the neighbor's yard for like 2 hours.
Did you sleep with one eye open?
I did, yeah. I woke up. I went to bed at like 4:30 that day. Woke up at 8, and then I went back to sleep. But that was a long night. Not a fun one either.
Yeah.
But other than that, sold some stuff to GameStop. Gonna be getting a PlayStation 4 Pro here soon. Hopefully, getting a new computer a little bit after that.
Nice.
Yeah, upgrading.
Yeah.
Got my beautiful 4K TV.
Massive 4K TV.
Way too big. I've been playing Mass Effect Andromeda, so that's kind of what I've been doing. I'm off school this week, so
Nice. Okay. I don't think I have anything to talk about really, so we'll just get right into what we played, shall we?
Yeah.
Corey, you want to get started since you've?
Yeah, I haven't
off a
played
few
much
weeks.
other than Sekiro.
Mhm.
I have beaten. Can we talk some spoilers
Yeah,
at this point?
of course.
Yeah, I've beaten Genichiro.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, the way I played it was I got to Genichiro. I saw like if I were to beat him, it was going to take me a substantial amount of time. So instead, I just kind of skipped over him, left him there, and just continued to play the game, which you can do for quite a while.
Yeah.
But now that I've beaten Genichiro and I've sort of like, I know I haven't explored everything, but I've explored most of the game, I don't really care anymore. Like I feel like I've seen just about everything.
Uh-huh.
I'm not crazy about Sekiro.
Okay.
I really like it, but I mean, if it was the only Souls game, I'd be like, this is great. But I'm constantly comparing it to Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's as good as those games.
Really?
I really don't. For me, it comes down to setting. I think the gameplay is just as good, and it's refreshing because it's a little bit different. but for the setting is just it's too similar from area to area. One thing I really liked about Dark Souls was that around every corner there was something new and unique and a new architecture style or some weird grotesque thing, just like something refreshing. Every area had its own aesthetic, whereas Sekiro I don't feel like really does that, maybe to a smaller extent, but yeah, I'm just not wowed as much in Sekiro as I was in those other games, and that's an important thing for me in games. Whereas I know a lot of people, the gameplay is more important, and I can see them liking Sekiro's gameplay more. So
yeah,
I get it, but for me, it's good, not great.
Yeah, I'm definitely more in the gameplay boat for it. That's what I like about it. You're right. There is not a huge difference in from area to area. Not like there would be in Dark Souls, in the Dark Souls games specifically. But I wonder if that's partly because it's kind of historical.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not. What's the word?
Hating?
Yeah, I understand. Like, I don't want them to go too crazy.
Yeah.
Because it is set in feudal Japan, but I don't know, just some more, like, give me a snow level, I don't know.
Beardless says, what boss are you on?
I can't remember who I beat last. Oh, you know who I'm at? It's the one after, the woman, I forget where, you go through the Mibu village.
Yeah.
And then there's that, what's her name?
Orin
Orin
of the Water.
Yep, I beat her pretty easily. I think on my second try.
Yeah.
And
she
then
wasn't too bad.
The one after
the monk.
The monk. I don't think. Yeah, I did not beat the monk yet.
Okay. What I've tried to do is I'll go in, I'll face a boss a few times, I'll get my butt kicked. I'll go out and whatever, level up a little bit. I'll look up the cheese method for beating these bosses. I'll try the cheese method for a little bit and do worse than I did when I just learned the game's mechanics. And the corrupted monk, that's what he is. The corrupted monk was that for me in a nutshell, because I tried the cheese method like 5 or 6 times. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna beat this guy legitimately by learning his moves, and I think I beat him like the 3rd time by timing my parries right and hitting him when I could. So the cheese method, it was the same with Orin of the Water. Like I tried her, she kicked my butt a few times, and then once I tried the cheese method, didn't work, and then once I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn her moveset. Then it was like you, Corey, the 2nd or 3rd time I faced her, I kicked her butt. But I still, I tend to fall back on the Souls habits. I get to dodging too much and don't remember my parrying and blocking. So, but yeah, I'm in the owl boss. You didn't do that the giant ape, did you, Corey?
I never saw the ape. Or wait, did I beat the ape? Can't remember. I'm actually looking through the bosses right now because I can't remember the name.
He's a giant ape.
Fling's poop.
Oh, Fling's poop. Yeah. With there's like pillars or trees. Trees that you can fly around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I beat him.
Okay.
I can't remember. I've seen so many bosses, and some of them I've just skipped over and not bosses and mini bosses.
Yeah, I've skipped over a few mid. But I actually thought he was a mid boss, but he's not. He's a full on boss.
The armored warrior. Did you do the armored warrior?
Yes.
That was my favorite fight.
That was really cool.
That was really cool, and I think that's kind of telling.
Yeah.
Because here I am saying I liked Dark Souls more. It's a character kind of out of Dark Souls, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a more European style medieval character.
Yeah, but like, I would never have figured out how to beat him without looking it up.
Really?
Yeah, I had to look it up. I was like, what is going on here? Why can't I do this? I'm not gonna spoil it for those that haven't gotten there, but I was looking it up. I was like, duh, like I should have been able to figure that out on my own.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
Yeah. Once I saw that, like, you can knock the panels down, I'm like, all right, I gotta get them off the edge here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm still liking it. It's been a little while since I've played it. I just haven't had the opportunity. But I look forward to getting back into it. So do you want to talk about vampire, Corey?
Again, I don't really have much to say about it. The setup is that you're a guy who I don't really know anything about. He gets attacked and becomes a vampire, and the first victim of his is his sister, and that happens in the first 5 minutes of the game, so I'm not spoiling anything.
Such spoilers.
Yeah. So far, pretty cool style. I got chased by some old London cops, which was fun, and then I macheted them to death. But that's all I've seen so far.
Okay. All right. Will, what have you been playing?
Real quick, I forgot to talk about this in my week, but Corey, I watched the new Dragon Ball movie finally.
Oh, really?
The Broly one.
Yeah.
Really good.
Oh man, I gotta get back in.
If you want my Prime, you can use it and to watch it.
Maybe because I still want to do the Dragon Ball Super podcast.
Get on it.
Well,
but you'll like it. It kind of retcons a little bit of the Saiyan backstory to make it more fleshed out, and it's really well done. The fighting's really good. The animating's really good. My only complaint is they do this weird like chanting soundtrack in the background. That's kind of bad at times. But I was tired enough that I didn't pay attention to it. So when I was watching it, so I got to drown it out.
Okay.
As for what I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect Andromeda. I probably have 20 hours into the game so far. And all I've really done was get Havarl, Vold, and Eos to 100% viability. And then I'm working on getting the Moshai from the Angara race. For whatever reason, I can't remember. There's so much going on with the different stories that like I kind of get mixed up. What's the main story? So that's what I'm working towards right now. My only complaint for the game is they put too many quests on hold. Why do they give you these quests way too early for you to have to wait until you can complete them later? You know? It's like with the Asari and Turian arc, I have to wait to be able to do more with that. I have to wait to do more loyalty missions, like, because they give me the option on hold. There's a AI quest that I want to do, but I have to wait until I get an email, like, at a random point in the game. I think that kind of ruins some of the side quests in it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that at all. But other than that, I think the game, again, I don't think it's a great Mass Effect game, but I think it's a good science fiction game. So I'm a fan of it. I like the squad mates a lot more than I thought I would too. Like I think Jaal, I want to take Jaal on every mission because I feel like he's important for every mission.
Jaal, fresh my memory.
He's the Angara, the new race character.
Still can't picture him.
It looks like he's wearing a monocle, right?
Yeah. It looks like he's wearing a Scouter from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. Him. I said that I didn't really like Korra or Liam that much last episode that I was on, or I think it was last week when I started playing it. I like the two of them now. Korra's growing on me a lot. Liam's growing on me a lot too. I don't think he's as bad as like a Jacob Taylor. Which I think he's the king of generic human character. Yeah, I think the game's fine.
Yeah.
Big Purple Man is what Jaal is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like it. Good game so far. I wonder. There's two or three more planets that I need to work on viability for. I haven't been to them yet though, so. And I'm just gonna be working on the main story. So. That's about it, though.
So bad, Will, do you feel like the game was worthy of ending the franchise?
No. Oh my god, no.
That's really too bad.
I am actually shocked that people were as hard on the game as they were.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's some technical issues, like audio cuts out, there's like some stuttering, there's like some janky facial animations, but I've not been like taken out of the game at all.
Right.
Maybe
I don't know. I think
my standards are lower.
Yeah, I mean my standards are pretty low because I just like Mass Effect. The setting is good enough for me. But I think people were still bitter from Mass Effect 3, so they were kind of looking for things to.
Yeah, definitely.
To poke holes in. But I said killed the franchise, but I am confident it will come back someday.
Yeah.
Hiatus.
Well, it sounds like BioWare is just killing all of their games on their own. From the articles that have come out from Jason Schreier, it sounds like they're tanking themselves. So I don't know. I think Mass Effect was fine. Like I don't think Andromeda was worthy of the hate. I get why people didn't enjoy it, but like just like audio cutting out during a gunfight doesn't bother me that much. Like comes back quickly. I don't know. That technical stuff doesn't bother me as much as it probably bothers some other people.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. You call a game an RPG in space, and I'm kind of on board no matter what. So
I'm
a little biased, but
that might be us too being biased, definitely. But I don't think the game was deserving to just be ripped apart and like people choosing Addison as I'm a little tired, so sorry if my face is a little, and just like the constant gifs of that. I'm like, okay.
I mean, it is funny, but I'm with you.
It's just like it's beating a dead horse. It's the hive mind of Reddit.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's all it is.
And again, it's not as good as the first 3 Mass Effects.
No way. No.
But that's okay. Those are hard to live up to.
Very hard to live up to. Okay. Anything else, Will?
No, that's it.
Okay. The only thing I've been playing that I played aside from Sekiro was I started playing Mario Odyssey again. And not even a new game, yeah. I'm working on 100%ing the game, getting all the power moons and the purple coins. So and this partially came on because of my bout of kind of insomnia that I've had this week. Like I said, one of my twins not really sleeping that much. It's just a nice, relaxing game to go back and play. The music is very obviously calming, and I know the moveset all real well, so it's just going around and finding those power moons and finding those purple coins. It's not stressful like Sekiro is. It's kind of it's a very nice antidote to what Sekiro is as a game. So that's what I've been playing. I've toyed with the idea of revisiting Breath of the Wild. I will at some point. But for now, like I want to play Mario Odyssey. As I said, I'm slowly working through getting all the power moons. I'd like to 100% it. I just finished, or I have one more to get in Metro Kingdom. I started in the one after that, which is the Seaside Kingdom. The Metro Kingdom, the only heart I haven't gotten yet, or power moon I haven't gotten yet, was the jump rope 100 times.
Oh yeah.
So that one's gonna be miserable to ultimately get, but I'm gonna get it at some point. So, but yeah, that it's so good. So
yeah,
top 5 Mario.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I love it. All right, Corey, you don't have anything else that you played, right? Nope. Got you covered. All right, let's get into feedback. Let's see what we have for feedback. Couple. We got one from Tate and one from Jake. So, this is a good one. I'm glad you're on for this, Corey. So Tate says, "Sup, dudes. So this last weekend, I took more of TSA's advice and I paid up $10 for To the Moon. Man, for that experience, I would have been fine paying $20. The other $10 I would have been for tissues, though, which I do not have. So I play through it. And my wife is sitting there on the couch, and all of a sudden, tears just magically appeared on my face." And she noticed. Let me just say that having to explain to her why I was crying was quite embarrassing. But then as I told her the story all the way through and got to the end, she started crying too. So needless to say, To the Moon is one amazing story. The music, oh man, the music was damn incredible. It played its part perfectly throughout the whole story and made you feel what you needed to feel. That's a game everyone should experience at some point, so thank you, TS Athletes. Thank you for great taste in games. The end.
Yeah.
Gatorade out.
Yeah, I'm getting a little teared up thinking about it, to be honest with you.
I still say to this day, I wept at the end of that game. I wept like a baby.
Yep.
Like, sobbed. Literally sobbed. Yep. So
it's one of those games that changes you a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if it's just briefly. Makes you hug your loved ones a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
That's rare. It's a rare achievement.
Yeah.
And none of us have played the second one, right?
No, I don't think so.
No, none of us have.
Maybe that's what I need to play.
I think there's a little bit of fear there.
Yeah.
Being afraid to experience emotions again.
Try to hide from emotions.
Exactly.
I did play the intermediary game. What was that called? The paper
Bird
Story.
Story.
Bird Story. Yeah, that was good too.
So no one's played Finding Paradise.
No. Glad you liked it though, Tate.
I think I own it. I just haven't played it.
Yeah, I own it too.
You guys got to play it and report back.
Yeah, should. Maybe this weekend I've got a little time other than Easter.
Let's see how long to beat is for it.
6 hours.
That's doable.
Is it? I just made that up.
5.
That's doable in one sitting.
That is
Which is the way to play those.
with an intermission,
Yeah, bathroom break.
bathroom, and maybe a meal.
Yeah. So that was from Tate. Thank you, Tate. Glad you liked it. Yeah, that's still fond memories of that one, just because it really, really gets you in the feels,
Yeah.
So next is from Idaho Jake, who says, "Hey guys, I think the best but not new IP is how old games are taking on new ways of playing. Like Zelda is now a total open world game with new mechanics like weapon breaks and stuff. Also, God of War changed and is now one of the best games. But my new one would be Hellblade because of how they took on mental health in such a unique way. Console-wise, Xbox Game Pass and the Switch. No need to explain why. Also, I let Val pick my game for the last week's win. Game of Thrones is starting out pretty good. Thanks, guys, and have a great night."
I think we're gonna, to his first point about new spins on old classics.
That's a good idea for an episode.
I think we're gonna see a lot more of that too, moving forward. Because the games that have the following, or the IPs, I should say, that have the following are gonna be. I mean, they still sell. They just have the name and they sell. So why not add a new spin on? I mean, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. There's a great example.
Resident Evil 7 was like a completely different type of game than any of the other Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Oh, but guys, Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey aren't real Assassin's Creed
I
games.
was gonna say Assassin's Creed Odyssey too. That's it looks the same, but it plays completely different than any of the old Assassin's Creed games.
No. They should change the name. They're not real.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway. What was... Oh. Hellblade, yeah. I still say, I know Corey didn't care for it, but that was good stuff.
Games, as far as games that tackle mental illness well, I really like Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah.
Did something similar.
Celeste, too, tackles mental illness.
That's right, yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we gave that our game of the year.
Me too. I still have to make a Twitter post about it.
I think I spearheaded that.
What's that?
Celeste winning.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and listen, but I am also glad we picked that.
I wasn't letting you guys pick Red Dead.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure you were the first to say, so it's Celeste then.
Yeah, something along that line, what do you guys think of Celeste?
But I think everybody was pretty agreeable to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely was.
We would still be recording that episode if you guys wanted to make Red Dead Game of the Year.
Because Will was just ready to turtle. And I hadn't played it, so...
I would have lost it if you had played it.
I don't know. I don't know if I would have had it as, it would have been in my top 5. I don't know if I would have argued for it for Game of the Year. I probably would have had Celeste above it.
Music to my ears right there.
But it's hard to know, I don't know how I would have felt. So, I just got a notification on my phone that the Switch Pro model has been postponed as a rumor.
Ooh.
According to a new Nikkei report. Breaking news.
Interesting.
Nintendo Switch Pro revision might be in bad waters. Powerful version or next-gen model, as report calls it, has been postponed. The issues with power consumption and getting the operating system to run on the hardware.
So the Switch is destined to not be more powerful.
Maybe.
Nailed it.
So it looks like the cheaper version is still going for a fall release. So interesting. We'll see. That's just rumors, but I'm pretty sure Nikkei is a fairly reliable rumor source.
Yeah.
So, because I think they was that the one that broke the Switch when it came out, but before it came out.
I don't think so.
I remember reading about Nikkei.
remember.
I remember reading stuff from Nikkei.
They've definitely broke things, but I don't think the Switch was one of them. I mean, we're going a ways back, I guess.
It's
but
probably 3 years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember who broke the Switch stuff.
But anyway, game giveaway time, right?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, let me get a thing going here. Random number. We had 2 pieces?
Yep.
All right, 1 through 2. The winner is 1.
Tate is the winner for playing. Hold on. Tate for playing. Wow, To the Moon.
Come on, Dan. There you go.
My brain.
All right, 1 through 150. 93.
93 is Puzzle Agent 2.
Yeah, that's not bad. Next, 57.
57. Western Press.
I have no idea what that is.
Nor I.
47.
47.
Western Press?
Yeah.
Isn't that the...
Oaklos. Yeah, Westport Independent is what you're thinking of, Corey.
You're right. Western Press is the dueling game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. 80% on Steam.
That's pretty good.
No. 21.
21. Fish fillets 2. I don't know what that is.
59.
59.
Ooh, Fish Fillets 2 has 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Really?
Oh my god.
Kathy Rain.
That's familiar. Why do I know that game?
I don't know. Doesn't sound familiar to me.
Point and click adventure video game.
Okay. So Tate, apologies, but your choices are Puzzle Agent 2, Western Press, 47, Oaklos. I think that one's okay. 21 is Fish Fillets 2, and then Kathy Rain is your last choice. So let us know what you want, and I will send those out.
I'd pick Kathy Rain, personally.
It is set in 1995 and follows a college girl named Kathy.
Oh, so it's a little bit like Life is Strange.
I was
thinking more
born
like
in
Oxenfree.
95.
Oxenfree?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, based on that description.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Next week, we don't have a topic planned for yet, but we will, as usual, have something. It will be on our new recording night, which is Wednesday on twitch.tv/thumbstickathletes. Roughly 9 o'clock on Wednesday night is our new recording time. If you need updates on us, you can find us on Twitter @TSAthletes, Facebook page, facebook.com/thumbstickathletes. Our website is thumbstickathletes.com, which has not been updated in quite a while. At least with our posts. I don't know if our information on there is probably pretty outdated too.
Oh,
Right.
I was reading our bios the other day. I'm
but
like, man, these could use some updating.
Yeah, I mean, those are from when we first had that version of the. No, that was one for when we first had our website, I think.
When I
Yeah.
was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Old.
that was a while ago. So we'll get to all that stuff. I'll try to update it. So.
No, we're not.
Yeah, I mean, it took me long enough to update our Twitch stuff. Like, we stream on Twitch every single week, so yeah.
Are we still a partner?
Oh yeah. You can subscribe to us if you like. Subscribe using Twitch Prime. It helps the show.
We've gotten paid out once.
Yeah, we did get one payout.
Yeah. It was
which
a
is
good
nice.
feeling.
Which is nice. It helps alleviate some of the monthly fees that come with running the show. Low monthly
Although,
fees, but
what was the
still there.
cutoff, Dan? That you have to start paying taxes on it?
I think it's 600.
Okay. We're still under that threshold.
Yes, we are under that threshold. We don't have to pay taxes on it just yet. I would like to get over that threshold, but whatever.
Someday.
Really, what needs to happen is
winter
we need to start streaming more and not the show.
Yeah, and I'm getting there. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I've been workshopping some ideas too. It's just trying to find a consistent time to do it.
Right, that's the difficulty.
Yeah. I would like to start on Thursdays because my Thursday nights are generally free anyway because we've recorded on Thursday night for so long for a while. So
Yeah.
but we'll see. And I've got a few ideas knocking around for because I like to have a theme, I guess, when I do stuff like that. Like the wife and I do rookie camps. That's a theme. I don't want to just get on and play a game.
Yeah.
Like Corey and Eric doing the fruit theme.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Corey and Eric's Big Fruity Hearthstone Extravaganza.
That's right. That's good stuff.
That was fun. Forgot about that. Oh man, are those
Did you
videos
guys-
still floating around?
Yeah.
Didn't you guys just bring a random piece of fruit, the two of you?
Yeah.
You restart that. Well, I guess they would only be floating around if you uploaded them to YouTube.
I don't remember if we did. Man.
Because they'd still be on there. A lot of our stuff is still on there.
What was that series I did? Corey plays 15 minutes or 25 minutes of.
Yeah. You did Cuphead. You did,
Wow.
what was some of the other ones? Did you do Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War?
Yeah, the Tokyo Game Factory game.
Witness.
Satsuna?
Wit.ness.
Satsuna. I am Satsuna, yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, that's probably everything, right?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, those in the Twitch chat will be starting our Game of Thrones recap pretty soon here. If not, if you're listening via the podcast, then it'll be after the outro. If you are watching this on YouTube at some point, it will be a separate video. But it'll release around the same time. Maybe I'll link to the video from the comments or the
way to do it. The way to do it is to annotate the video.
Yeah, at the end
with pop up.
Yeah, so it'll be right.
There you go. Yeah.
Right here. Yeah, right here.
Oh, Dan, look at you. You're a real
pro.
streamer
I'm
now.
a pro. So yeah, that'll do it for episode 404 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.